What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from my NHL show. To check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern with the Minnesota Wild at home against the Arizona Coyotes. We're at the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Let's just review quickly what's going on with market movement in this spot, because money is coming in on the Minnesota Wild. And I didn't get the best line. I expected to be getting the best line and did not get it. So let's jump in right now and see. So we have this Wild team. Oh, God, we don't even have it here. Sorry, here we go. Wild team opening up at minus 155. That was the earliest offshore numbers and FanDuel numbers. It's sitting at minus 170 right now, but it's up to minus 185 at some books. So a ton of money coming in on the Minnesota Wild, and for good reason. So let's just get this all locked up, and let's make sure. I want my opening line to be from a licensed American legal book like Bet365, and I know it's not an American book, but it's licensed in New Jersey. So Bet365 opened it up at minus 165. It's now at minus 170. This total is sitting at 5.5 and juice to the under, but there's been no movement there. It opened under 5.5 minus 125. It's still there, so you will get rewarded if you take the over 5.5. And the Wild have been playing that type of hockey. The Coyotes have not been. They're playing very conservative road hockey, and I'm not attacking the total at all. I am on the Wild minus 1. I got a minus 108. That's with the money line at minus 165 and the puck line at plus 145. And I could have got minus 160 and plus 150, and I just waited a few minutes too long. I expect Antti Raanta to be back in goal for the Coyotes. He looked very good in the last two games against the Avalanche with JT Compher out of the lineup due to injury. Raanta is 4-2-2, 3.39 goals against average, 912 save percentage, 0 shutouts, and he looks excellent. I hope Makkonnon will be back in goal. If I see Cam Talbot, I'm going to be extremely upset. 11-4-0 for Makkonnon, 2.19 goals against average, 922 save percentage, 1 shutout. He's clearly shown that he's the number one guy there. Just let this go. Who cares that you picked up Cam Talbot in the offseason? It's Capo time. Roll with Makkonnon. The Coyotes' power play has been much, much better than it was last year. And couldn't understand why it was so bad last year. They have a nice puck-moving defense. I mean, it probably is the evolution of Chychrun that's really made this power play so dangerous, but they've always had Clayton Keller, Phil Kessel, the type of forwards that you want on the power play, but never really came together until this year. They're hitting at 20.7%. They're penalty killing at 83.3%. The Wild power play has been atrocious. I don't understand why. And imagine what this team would do. They're sitting 15-8-1 if they had a good power play. They're hitting 7.9%, and it makes no sense with Dumba's shot at the point, with Zuccarello and Kirill Kaprizov up front. The point is, what they don't have is that soft-handed puck-moving center. That's what they're missing. And Joel Eriksson-Ek, a first-round pick, sure, in that I believe he came out of that very dominant 2015 draft and like the 20th pick or something like that. But he's not that guy, and they can't seem to find that guy. Let's talk about the Coyotes first. They're coming off splitting 2 games with the Avalanche when they were completely dominated in every aspect except the score. In the first game, they were outshot 35-14 against an Avs team that was missing their best player, Nathan Mackinnon, 2 of their top 4 defensemen in Cale, Makar, and Bowen, Byram, and a depth piece in JT Compher. It was crazy to see them dominate like that. In the second game, Mackinnon came back. The others were still out, and they were outshot even worse, 46-14. Exceptional goaltending from Antti Raanta kept them in it. I've talked about it often, and I don't need to keep hammering this, but the top Coyote forwards are small and easy to play against. Their defense is quality, and it always has been. It always has been. But, Goligoski was a nice pickup. They've always been able to move the puck with Ekman Larson. It's just they've always been nice, but the rise of Jacob Chychrun has changed this defense to make it very strong. The Wild aren't missing their best player. and 2 of their top 4 defensemen. They won 5 straight at home and 3 of 4 overall. They played the Coyotes twice last week, and this is part of the reason why I love this spot. So they played the Coyotes in that first game against Coyotes. We were all over the Wild. Had them on the -1 line. They won easily 5-1. In that next game, we went right back to the well. I really think the size advantage of the of the Minnesota Wild forwards. I mean, they have 5 forwards over 6'2". They have 2 forwards in Bukestad and Greenway that are 6'6". I just thought that was a huge advantage over this small Coyote group. They were up 2-0 after the first period, and the Coyotes stormed back, scored 5 unanswered. And this Coyotes team has heart, don't get me wrong. But it was a shocking comeback, and it's fresh in the Minnesota Wild's head. Fresh, that 5 unanswered goals. And I think that really helps us, those of us who are back in the Minnesota Wild. It's just a bad matchup for the Coyotes. They can't instill their will on their opponent. They can't. And the Wild can. The Wild team also has the memory of that Coyote comeback. I think it's a perfect situation. I talk about my love for this team often. Kaprizov, Zuccarello, I feel like they're the missing pieces that this team has been looking for. And I expect them to take out the Coyotes tonight. Simple. Minnesota Wild, -1 and -108.